Hey everyone, wanted to take a few minutes today and talk about our water-based tire and trim conditioner, Nourish, okay? So we've got this Acura TLX that we just finished up some PPF, some paint correction, we're getting ready to ceramic coat everything, and this was a perfect candidate to shoot this video, okay? So these tires have already been scrubbed down with our all-purpose cleaner called Buster, which is not out yet, but will be shortly, okay? So one thing that most people overlook in this whole process of conditioning their tires is actually cleaning their tires. Most people just slap on more tire conditioner and more tire conditioner and more tire conditioner and more tire conditioner, and they wonder why their tires always look brown or junky or hairy, or they're always slinging stuff down the side, and the reason is because you never take time to clean them. So I'm not saying that you need to scrub down your tires every single time, but I am saying that maybe every other or every third time you do need to scrub down your tires. Otherwise, none of your tire conditioner is ever going to soak in, or it's never going to bond with the tire. It's just going to sit on top and sling off. Okay, so these have been scrubbed with our all-purpose cleaner Buster, which will be out soon. Now you have a couple different ways that you can go about this, okay? The first one is you could just take a microfiber applicator or a foam applicator or whatever, spray it directly on the applicator and wipe it on. You could do that. There's nothing wrong with that. And if your tires are somewhat conditioned already, that's probably going to work really, really well for you, because all you're going to be doing is topping it off, right? In this case, these tires are pretty dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just liberally go around the tire and spray it. Now, I've got this car on one of our scissor lifts, so I'm able to get this bottom part of the tire right here. If you don't have your car on a lift, which most of us don't in normal everyday life, what you're gonna need to do is, after you condition the tire, roll the car forward just a tiny bit so this bald spot here comes available at the back to where you can then get to it. But for right now, we've got it lifted just so I can get all areas of it, okay? So, like I said, these are pretty dry, so I'm going to liberally soak this up and just let it dwell, okay? So what's gonna happen over the next few minutes, I'm gonna let this dry. The conditioning agents in this conditioner are gonna soak into the tire, and the water portion of it is going to evaporate. And that's gonna allow that tire to get nice and conditioned. Now, at this point, I'm not worried about the little bit of overspray that I got on my wheels. I'm gonna come back with our waterless wheel wash called Thick, and I'm just gonna mop all that up and juice out the wheel really nicely. I'll detail that out later. The point of this video is not to show you how I detail wheels, it's to show you how I apply tire conditioner. And in this case, I wanted to spray it on liberally so it can soak into the tire, knowing I'm gonna get a little bit of overspray on my wheel, and I'll come back and detail that out later. So for the time being, we're gonna take a quick break from this video while this soaks in, and I'll come back here and show you what I do on when I level it out. All right, so it's been a few minutes now, and we've had Nourish soaking into this tire, okay? So this is the point where I come through and I level everything out. This is where I'm gonna get rid of any streaks, drips, things like that. This isn't rocket science. I've got a microfiber applicator. There's a million applicators out there. I'm not gonna tell you which one to buy. Pick your own, pick your favorite, whatever. It's not a big deal. So at this point, I'll just give my applicator a few spritzes, and all I'm gonna do is just come back through here, and I'm just gonna level this out, making sure I even get onto the side of the top of the tread just a little bit, because I want full coverage on my sidewall. And that's it. And it's still going to be a tiny bit wet at this point. That's okay. After about 5 minutes, this will be completely dry, and it'll have a very natural finish. The reason we did a water base on this as opposed to a silicone or something like that, the silicones build up, they make your sidewall real hairy, they start gathering around all the letters on your sidewall, and they just always look nasty and filthy. Not to mention they sling down the side of your car, which this will not do. I could let this sit for about 30 to 45 minutes, and I can drive this car on interstate and it's not gonna fling all down the side. If you do get a little bit of sling, it's probably because you either used too much or you did not clean the tire ahead of time, and because the tire conditioner is not bonding and soaking into your tire, it's just sitting on the surface and it's flinging down the side. So that's another reason you need to clean your tires ahead of time. So that would be what is happening if you're getting a little bit of sling. Now, A water-based tire conditioner is going to have a much more natural finish. It's not going to have a real high greasy finish like a silicone one will, and it is going to wear off as you drive through rainstorms and things like that. That's why it's water-based, because it doesn't stick to your freaking tire and look all nasty like the silicone junk. That's the whole point. So yes, you're gonna have to reapply this more frequently than you would a silicone dressing. Now, if you've got an off-road tire, like I do on my truck, you can use a brush real similar to this. There's a multitude of brushes out there. You can do some searching. We may even end up stocking one here on our website, but you want something sort of flexible and delicate, not real rough and rigid, because then you could just spray this, and on your off-road tires with the real heavy lugs, you can go in there and kind of brush it in like this, and you can get all in between all those lugs on the tires for a really nice finish. So that's it, real simple. Again, if I wouldn't have sprayed this, I wouldn't have to go back and dial in my wheel. So now that this is done, the little bit of Nourish overspray that I got on the wheel, absolutely no big deal. I'm gonna grab my waterless wheel cleaner here. I'm just gonna take and put a few spritzes on the wheel and dial in the wheel with a microfiber towel, and we're gonna be looking ultra juicy. So that's it. This is not rocket science. It's a water-based tire conditioner. Stuff works amazing on plastic trim as well. So your bed rails on your truck, any plastic trim you have on your bumpers, this stuff is gonna rock your face off that way as well. So thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.